Hi, my name is Evan Deal, and welcome to the Living in Indianapolis, Indiana channel. Today, we are going to give you an overview of Geist, which is in Indianapolis and Fishers and is one of the premier waterfront areas in Indianapolis. Can't wait to walk you through it. But before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button, the like button, and that bell button because we want you to stay up to date with everything that's happening in the 317 and to be the first one to know when a new video drops covering Geist, covering the north side of Indianapolis, and covering all of this amazing city that we call home. Now let's get started. So this is the Geist area of Indianapolis and Fishers. As you can see, it's all situated around Geist Reservoir, which is a huge, beautiful man-made body of water. So let me zoom out a little bit and you can see where it is. So it's in the northeast part of the city, Indianapolis here, Fishers here. You also have McCordsville, you have Fortville, that all really surround this area. The north parts of Lawrence, just south of Fishers is Fort Harrison State Park, which we call Fort Ben here. You have sort of the Fort Ben area over here, which there's a lot of development there. There's apartments, as well as some more established housing in the area. So the easiest way to get to Geist, you hop off of the interstate at 465. And come on over here. So it's a little bit off the interstate, but it's a pretty easy drive. And what's even sort of a better way of looking at it, it's a beautiful drive off of Fall Creek. Fall Creek is just a spectacular road. It's got mature trees everywhere. It's got leaves. You've got the water. When you actually cross over the reservoir, it's gorgeous, and you can see all of the multi-million-dollar mansions really on every side of Geist. And it's just a really cool area to see. Within Geist, you have a few major communities. You have Masthead, which is on this side of Geist. You have Breakwater up here. You have Cambridge, where I know that there's still lots available to build on, both interior lots and waterfront lots, but they are relatively limited and they are very expensive. So if you are serious about new construction in Geist, let us know and we can get you connected in this area at Cambridge. And then you also have Admirals Bay, which is an enormous subdivision. And there's really all sorts of homes in Admirals Bay. You have some that are more of a single level look. You have some that are 2 stories. You have some really large ones on the water. And a lot of the homes here actually have access to docks. So it's not just the ones that are directly on the water. A lot of them have private paths as well down to the water. And then you have Feather Cove as well on the southern side. So no shortage of options around Geist. You can live on the inlets. You can live on the reservoir itself. I mentioned this back in our Geist pros and cons video, but the ones on the water give you the most spectacular views around the reservoir, and they really are spectacular, especially in the warmer months and with all the boats buzzing around. It's just really cool. But the ones on the inlets give you a little bit more privacy. So depending on where you are, there's no shortage of options around the reservoir, but the inlets can give you access to a dock as well as some additional privacy where you're not sort of visible to all of the reservoir. A lot of people actually have pools as well behind their homes here. So you don't see a whole lot of huge backyards in Geist, given that they're on the water. What you see are homes that are relatively small in the front and then larger in the back to give like amazing views with an enormous number of windows, walkout basements that back up to the water. And then most of the houses that are actually on the reservoir have a pool behind them as well, usually with a nice bricked off area or cement area. And then that leads down to either private docks or shared docks where people keep their boats. And you see all sorts of boats. You see speedboats and pontoons and jet skis. There's really no shortage of waterfront activities. So the different areas of Geist, you have Indianapolis on the southern side, you have Fishers on the north side. And like I mentioned earlier, there's McCordsville nearby. There's also Fortville nearby. McCordsville is getting a little bit bigger over time. Fishers obviously is one of the major suburbs and major cities around Indianapolis. Fortville is definitely a little bit smaller, a little bit further out, but there's opportunities for land out there. Within Geist, there's not really much in terms of new builds. There are some, but most of them are established homes in this area. There are little pockets of commercial development all around. So here's an example here. We have Dairy Queen. We have a pub. There's a Thai restaurant here. There's gym. But it's not a huge area, right? You have these little pockets of commercial development throughout Geist. There's one over here where you've got restaurants. You've got Salt, delicious seafood restaurant. There's even a Pizza King here, which if you're from Indiana, Pizza King. That's Indiana pizza right there. Geist Coffee Company is great. You've got a few crossings over the reservoir. They're really all spectacular just to drive on. You've got one here at Oleo, one on Fall Creek. And Fall Creek really takes you on a really nice drive through the woods up through Geist. It's very easy to get up to the different areas of Fishers, and Fishers is really expansive. Let me just zoom out for you here. So Geist is down here, Fishers is here. It's very, very easy to get over to Fishers, and there's tons of commercial development in Fishers. There's anything shopping that you want. There's anything restaurant that you want, hospitals, etc. It's also easy to get over to Castleton, where there's literally anything you want. But Geist is a little bit off the beaten path, and that's by design. So one of the easiest ways to get around here, you can get up to 96th Street. 106th and 116th are a very, very short drive from Geist. But off of 96, over here you have the reservoir. It's just a couple minute drive over here to get over to the interstate. So it's very easy to get around from the southern parts of Geist. And then from the northern parts, you can pop up to 69 very easily. Or if you want to take a highway, you can go down 36 as well. So in terms of like huge things to see, Geist doesn't really have that. That's not what it's about. It's a waterfront community that's built around the reservoir. So one thing that's really neat is the Indianapolis Yacht Club and the Indianapolis Sailing Club are both on Geist. So there's places to get into sailing activities, country club activities, places to park your boat with the Marina. We even have Geist Waterfront Park in this area, which is an area that's kind of like family fun. It's like a private beach. So there's a fee associated with it. It's sort of a private park that gives you water's edge activities that's not all about boating. So there is that as well. You have the Geist Marina launch facility as well for your boating activities. And it's really, really just everything is engineered around the reservoir itself here. You do have the Hawthorns nearby, which is one of the sort of coveted country clubs in the area. So very, very nearby. You also have Ironwood Golf Course. There are a lot of communities, Gray Eagle up here as well. So tons of opportunities for sort of luxury living in and around Geist. But really, there are opportunities for more affordable homes as well. You see them off the reservoir, and a lot of them are managed by the same or similar HOAs. And one of the neat features of living in Geist is many of the communities actually have private security as well. So in addition to police and fire being nearby, there are private security as well that's baked into the HOA cost in these communities. So tons of green space. Fort Bend is just to the south. I think I mentioned it earlier, but it's a really, really amazing state park with walking trails, with water, with trees everywhere, playgrounds, picnic availability, you name it. It is a large state park, and it's like stepping into another world. You enter from the city of Indianapolis, but you step into Fort Bend, and it's just full of nature. So that pretty much does it for Geist. It's very simple geographic area. It's mostly residential with pockets of commercial for convenience. You have your grocery stores, you have your restaurants all around. And if you're looking for that extra layer of commercial, it's just beyond. Just in Fishers, in Castleton, it's there within a few minutes drive, but it's not right behind your house. What's right behind your house in Geist is a big, giant, beautiful body of water with tons of boating and fun on it. All right, let's take a look at some of the homes that are available for sale or have sold in Geist, just to give you an idea of some of the areas. So over on the west side, like I've mentioned in a couple videos, that there are a lot of affordable options in Geist because a lot of the homes and communities are older and a lot of them need updates. So if you're looking on the water, you're going to see more expensive homes. If you're looking off the water, across the street, you may find an area average price point or a little bit above Indianapolis average price point. So let's take a look. So you can see over in this area, you're seeing 3s, 4s, 5s primarily, and that's very common. So just across Fall Creek, you see lots of 3s and 4s. If you go up a little bit, this holds true in other communities as well. Let's look on the south side. You can see 4s, 5s, 3s. That's very, very common for the area. The homes on the reservoir actually don't come available all that often. They're few and far between because they are very desirable real estate. And when you see them, they typically are in the multi-million-dollar range. So up here, you can see we're in breakwater in the surrounding area. So you see 500, 400, 300. This is very common for the Geist area. You're going to see it a little bit less expensive than other north side areas when you go fully out into the suburbs in Fishers proper, with some of the new builds out there with Carmel. It's more comparable with, sort of Noblesville or Westfield. But these are older homes in this area. That's why you see it in that middle tier price range. There are homes on the reservoir that go more in the 1.5 to really umpteenth million range. It just depends on how much land they have, where the lot is, what the house is like. All right, so you can see I've narrowed down the map to 1 million and above over the past year, and there's a lot, right? So it really just depends on where you're looking. Some of them are actually off the reservoir, but for the most part, these are going to be your waterfront properties within Geist. And as is true with a lot of the homes in other communities around Geist, some of these are older as well. I've toured quite a few of the homes around Geist that do need updating. They're beautiful homes, but they're just built a while back and they're ready for a refresher. It gives you a chance to really put your stamp on the home, to really customize it to what you're looking for. So I look at it as a really positive thing. So you can see up here, we're in Cambridge. You have 3.4, 3, 2.2, 2.4. A lot of these ones that are out closer to the reservoir itself, you'll see be on the higher end of these ranges, and the ones on the inlets tend to be a little bit more affordable in the luxury price range. So these are pretty common for what the homes look like in Geist. But like I mentioned before, it's really going to depend on the lot. Some of them are in neighborhoods. There are some with private drives. You can see this one has a larger lot than your average home on Geist. So, but the age of the homes tend to be a little bit older. I've said it before, there is some new construction, but it's not the most common thing in Geist. What's more common is having homes that are 20, 30 years old, and they still look great, but they may have some updates that you want to make for sort of the modern living. Here's one that's 1.7. So you can see a little bit of an older home. Let's look at the year built on it. Yeah, 1988. Super common for Geist, but really they have these nice resolute homes with old mature trees. They're just beautiful, and sometimes the interior is just ready for a little bit of a refresher. If you are looking for new builds, you're going to be looking more in this area. There are lots available there, and I've seen every sort of style, from super modern looking homes to more traditional homes. There's a place on Geist for whatever your architectural style is, but just in general on the reservoir, you're looking at big homes for sure. I hope you enjoyed that video covering Geist. There's definitely more to come on this amazing area. We're looking at the sailing club, the yacht club, and there's just so much more to explore in this area. If you love waterfront living and nature, Geist is just an amazing place to live. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell, because you want to be the first to know whenever a new video drops. We're covering all around Indianapolis, all the amazing neighborhoods and areas that there are in this place we call home. Can't wait to see you on the next one. I'm Evan Deal. This is Living in Indianapolis, Indiana.